Is it automatic recording?
Okay.
There we go. The recording has now started. And it looks like Nancy's joining us via Zoom as well. So give her a minute. Nancy's connected to audio. She might come in as muted too. Oh, no, she's on muted. We can see you, but we cannot hear you. There we go. Hi. Hi there.
Well, there's somebody.
Could we add that to note? Notes more, you want to add that to this aspect? I've made progress on ASCAP.
Can you do it old business?
Yeah.
And what else are we waiting for? Oh, Penny's joining us. Just be a moment.
Okay.
Hi, Penny. Oh, she's connecting to audio. Connecting to audio.
Aisha, was somebody at the door or was that Aisha?
No, that was me.
Aisha, Kenna, Ashley,
That's it.
Yeah, 'cause it's only
John's
14.
gone.
14.
We have 11 present, so. including Zoom.
Penny, you're muted,
Anyway.
just so you know.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, so
There
let's
you go.
Okay.
Ashley,
call the meeting to order.
Aisha.
Hope everybody's doing good.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I did good. I'm doing well.
You're doing, oh, sorry. I'm not an English major, I'm sorry. Let's see, I know that Chris has Ashley's proxy. Does anybody else have anything that? Okay. Did everybody get the board minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Any corrections, concerns? Okay, is there a motion to accept those?
No motion to accept?
I'll second.
Alex.
Okay,
Who's
then
second? Ed?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Oh, motion passed. Treasury report, Ken?
Okay, not a lot of activity in the last month. We did receive the $5,000 check for the ND CARES grant. And we did receive $3,088 refund on rights and royalties for flu and a partial, $435 back on life script. Yeah. 3 of our performances back. So that helps.
You also got the Missoula money back.
We got the Missoula money back. So we're good. The 990 for the 2019 year, which ended in June, has been submitted. And we're now up to date. I have a check to print for Joe and Joel. But $165 to do the 990 is cheap.
Yeah.
Considering how pain it is to do.
Now, the 165 is in addition to the 150?
The 150 was for the 2018 tax year to catch up, the 165 is for the 2019 tax year. So now we're current,
Okay.
now we're good until the next July. So right now we have a total of $183,819.84 in checking and savings, minus $225 in petty cash that's in the drawer. So, whatever, however that works out. Joel did make some adjustments to our depreciation schedule. And anything that was under $500 gets counted as current operating expenses now, rather than capital expenses. So items under $500 don't get depreciated, they're just expensed. I'm not an accountant. I'll take his word for it on that. We still need to work out what to do with the paid passes. I had one request for a refund. And I'm not sure what to do with it yet. I'll figure it out. It's still on the books.
Is that the one for Alien Magazine?
Yeah.
Or-
That wasn't a pass, that was a ticket.
Oh, so that was, we just don't know where it's going.
Can't do anything with it. I suppose.
No, we can find a way maybe to honor the passes for next season, if that's what we want to do. We can reissue new passes for the people who have a balance. And that, once we have a clear picture of where we're going, I think that's.
Do you have many people actually making inquiries about it?
Aaron Anderson is the only one I've had since May.
Because I wonder how many people are just going, well, I bought the tickets, but under the circumstances, I'm just gonna let it slide.
Yeah. And what the symphony did was they called all their pass holders. They got a little different situation. They do a subscription.
Yeah.
So they had specific tickets, and I was a subscription subscriber, so I got a call. And they offered either convert it to a gift certificate, call it convert it to a donation, or get a refund. Those are the three options they offered. And almost everybody offered it as a donation, as far as I know. So.
Is it something that we should look into, so we
We
know
might-
set in stone?
The problem is we've got a much more complicated situation because we've got passes where someone might have used, bought a pass with 6 shows on it and used them on 2 shows. Or 1 show,
And used all of it.
and used all
We just don't know how many are out there.
So the only thing we really can do is rely on the person who has the pass contacting us.
of them. And, I can do some things about looking at what they did. I can't look at what their intentions were.
Mm.
Some people may have bought a pass with the intention of using all 6 of them for clue. I have no way to tell. Or some people just bought a pass and never used any of them.
But we can tell how many they have left. I just don't wanna be like, assuming that, they weren't gonna, you know what I mean, like,
Well, we could though, in our newsletter, put out a,
it's a statement saying,
these are your options, and if you happen to have, if we can, figure out what our 3 options are,
Right.
and go with that.
I mean, worst case, if we just refunded everything, that'd be $2,700.
I would hope a lot of people would donate it, you know,
Yeah.
with most Western
I think
examples.
most of
That's
them
why I
would.
don't wanna assume that they wouldn't, but
But I mean, I think the newsletter is probably the way to go with that.
And I think we just need to figure out how to state a policy.
Right.
And that just needs to be worked out.
Well, is there a way that they can use them this year?
Well, first we have to have some shows.
We have to
Well,
have-
right, but I mean, there is that,
There
right?
is that. And maybe we may be able to do something with that.
Because if we're going general admission anyway, what difference does it matter if they come in with the pass from last year?
Well,
the code probably.
it's a flex pass, so it has to be, in order to account for it, we have to, it's not just a piece of paper, pass, it says pass, it's not just a ticket. It's a flex pass that's exchanged for tickets. It gets a little more complicated. We can work it out. It's
Well, the three out of the three possibilities though isn't a bad thought.
Anything else?
I think that's basically it.
The COVID committee, Katie?
I gotta get unmuted. We met last week, I know Heather and Randy were gone, and I think Ben might have been gone too. We met with Kathy about getting stuff together for prices and what was needed. She's gonna write a grant, so we came up with some prices on some barriers and spray bottles and towels and things like that, needed to spray down surfaces and keep the people in the ticket booth safe and things like that. So we'll let you know what she finds out when she's doing the grant. I don't know, Ken saw that barrier. I had taken a picture. There's a barrier at Minot State at the post office, which is, it's really fancy.
Yeah, it's,
But I don't know.
Wait to explain.
it's like almost $3,000.
I had found
Yeah, it's
basic,
3,247, but I thought it's like asking your dad for $100 and being happy with 20, you know, if we.
Yeah, there is that,
That's but I also took pictures of what was in the bookstore, which is much cheaper. And I know that we probably can make them a lot cheaper, but plexiglass is very hard to find right now. The university is having trouble finding plexiglass right now because I don't have a barrier in my office, and I won't be getting one for quite a while because there's no plexiglass to be found.
I had seen them at Menards, basic ones at Menards going for $65.
Yeah.
It's on the Excel sheet, but
And something else, the Minot Air Force Base Library recently received a donation from Home Depot for plexiglass barriers. So it might be something to inquire with them to see if it's something that they would be able to donate to us to.
so being said it was, the only one I'm gonna talk about here for a second is the plastic barriers. Being that it was on the summer cleanup list, but then got put on here, we were hesitant about going and using the credit card to buy it, you know what I mean? So I didn't
Yeah,
know
no,
if we needed to take a vote on that one
we can just
specific
take, we
thing,
can take
or-
it off the
or
cleanup,
wait
you know, for
for
now.
Okay, did everybody, I'm not sure if everybody got the Excel sheet? The COVID. graphic set?
This was, Kathy sent that out. You guys have a copy of it?
Well,
I have a copy of it,
Is that this thing?
this.
There were a few
oh,
changes,
updated, yeah.
making the total less expensive. On the second page, the exhaust fans, it would just, we would probably only need 2 because the backstage bathroom already has one. So, tell me the price. The price is not $175, it was 60.
Oh, I see, you changed it to 2 but you didn't change it where it says exhaust fans for 3 restrooms.
Yeah, and he actually just changed it again, he just hasn't sent it out, so the price was 70.
Yeah, so it'd be like
So-
150 for,
Right, so instead of the 350, you can change that to 150 approximately with taxes.
They're not 175?
No, $70.
Okay.
so that was going here locally, through, I think it was Menards or
Home Depot, yeah.
Yep, and so, we can get this stuff a whole lot cheaper on Amazon. And so, looking at the faucets, it's the same thing. I looked at getting the faucets that you could just plug in. We don't have any electric or electricity plug-ins available, so we'd have to go with AA batteries, which those go for, I think, $119 on Amazon, plus 2 small hoses for about $5 each, so looking at $120 a piece.
About 130.
$130, yes, that's right.
So then with 4 of those, right?
3, we need 3, there's 2 in the women's bathroom, and 1 in the
Unless
men's
we want to put
bathroom.
one of those back.
Unless we want one backstage, which I
I
think,
think we're more concerned with the active, what I would call the active bathrooms. That one back there is a restricted area.
yeah, so I guess my only thing is if we're gonna get money for it, we might as well change it out.
I'm gonna have to say that, even though it's not a public bathroom, that bathroom is used by everybody who's involved in everything. So I would have to say that we should think of it one in there as well.
So that would bring that total to 520 with 4 of them. So dropping the total down at the very bottom from 2,800 down a lot, because it was
Okay.
700 down to
But there's
150 and
faucets
1,200
for-
down to 520. So,
Is it going down to?
We're going down to 130.
so nearly
130 each.
$100.
So was there another Excel spreadsheet that went out?
Randy sent one out late this afternoon around 4 o'clock. And he just.
Did I get it?
Yeah, I responded to
I
everybody,
didn't
so.
notice.
We can send it out after this to the whole board. And then,
Yeah, I don't see one. I didn't get it either. Yeah, we're the committee.
As far as I know, from what Kathy told me, the grant application, there's supposed to be an app, and it's not available yet. So she's watching it, be ready. The grant application.
so, we'll send it out with the updated total costs and then we can talk about
I know
it.
there was a concern expressed about the installation of these.
Yeah, I was wondering
It's
about.
a
the
do-it-yourself,
installation.
it's intended for do-it-yourself homeowners, it's really simple.
Yeah, so Ken
And
and
that
I,
will work okay with our,
Ken and I went and took a look at the 2 bathrooms, and they would be an easy install.
I
They do run off 4 AA batteries.
Which leads me to one of my concerns. We had them when I was at IRET, we had faucets like these. And I didn't figure it out what was going on at the time because it wasn't my job. But I'd go in and the water would be running. Well, it turns out that happens if you let the batteries die. So in a building like this, when there's not people in it full time,
Gotta take the
That
batteries.
could be
you
a
check
problem.
those batteries and
Katie,
change them every 4 months.
Katie, you were indicating that MSU doesn't have the trouble with the touchless faucets that Ken had indicated. Do you know if the faucets that are there are electrically connected or battery?
Penny might know that. Do you know that, Penny?
Give me just a second, I'm gonna ask TJ.
Yeah, they work more with that kind of stuff than I do, but, other than sometimes I think I'm invisible because they don't work for me, but, I haven't heard of major issues with them.
Place like MSU, there's people there all the time.
Yeah.
And
Right,
then-
using
and
them on
there's-
it, yep.
There's regular maintenance done, and somebody's going to be there to check those regularly.
Yep.
If we're down for the summer and there's no, somebody doesn't come in, check those bathrooms every once in a while, we get water running and have a flood or,
We should take the batteries
Run
out.
no,
Well, if the batteries are out, it can leave the valve open and
and
just
the
leave the
valve
water
stays
running.
open.
Oh.
Unless before we leave, we shut off the main water valve onto the sink.
Well, that's what I told
Yeah,
Ken,
there's
is we should look
two-
at adding one valve that comes out of it to where you just shut it off after the season's over. And then that way, if the batteries do go out, then.
Would
we're
that
not
cut
gonna
off
have- right.
would it cut off the toilet flushing?
No,
No, it'd be under the
It's
sink.
the same.
No, it'll be just the same.
Because when people do come in during the summer, sometimes
Right.
it's nice to have the bathroom
It's-
accessible.
I guess the point is, it's not an insurmountable problem. We just have to be aware of it
Right, I
and
think,
change those batteries,
Just put in many.
change the batteries.
The sinks that Katie's talking about, or this stuff, they're up in the conference center bathrooms. They are wired directly.
Okay, so then they wouldn't have that issue.
Yeah, they're not batteried.
Okay. That's a different case then.
but to your point, we could get battery testers and,
We should have a battery tester around here anyway.
and then that way, if we do get these, you can check them at the end of the show, or just put it on the to-do list for whoever cleans the bathrooms, so.
Well, possibly could even have a checklist.
We could have, there should be a checklist of all, how many things we have around here that use batteries? We got wireless headsets, we got,
We won't
Yeah,
go
but wireless
we won't go
headsets,
into
the
it.
chair.
we got all these different
Paper
things with
towel
batteries.
dispensers.
Okay, so
It'd be worthwhile to have a battery charger.
Sure.
I'll send this out tonight to everybody, and then please take a look at it within the next day or so. And I guess, is this something we need to vote on, that, Kathy should go ahead with this grant, or it's kind of just,
I so move we go ahead with the grant
right?
when it's available.
I second.
Okay, Holly motions that we take this list, if there's no changes, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
and go ahead with the grant. Penny seconds it. All those in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so take a look, but though, if there's any problems or you see something different, and then,
Don't be afraid to question something,
Right.
even if
So-
all you want is information.
So I do have a question on the list. Do we need to include toilets, the flushing automatic ones?
Oh, God help, no.
No.
We have enough trouble with our toilets here.
Or just a question?
That's just sleep.
I
Like
agree.
sleeping dogs.
I
Good
agree.
enough.
And to be perfectly honest, the newest stuff that I'm finding is, it doesn't really make a difference unless you have automatic lids that go up and down.
Oh geez.
Well, we
I
can
mean,
put
hopefully
bidets
most
on there.
people are going to wash their hands.
Right.
so for the most part, I don't see a need to run out and buy any of these things, since we don't even have like a performance or a show scheduled yet. Now, if that came, if a show gets scheduled, then maybe we need to look at getting some of these cleaning options to bring people in. But I think for now,
It
is
should be
everybody?
contingent on getting the grant.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay,
The cleaning's part of it.
okay, moving on.
Okay.
Thank you, Katie, and everybody who did that. Grant committee.
What I can pass on is Kathy's pursuing a whole bunch of different things. And she told me today that there is the Department of Commerce, State Commerce Department, however they call it, has a Main Street Development grants available, or they will, that can be used for projects which enhance the attractiveness of downtown for bringing people in. I think a real obvious thing there is the lobby.
Well, but facade.
the lobby and the front. And that should be one project.
We'll get her some numbers.
So.
Which leads us into the building repairs.
We'll move right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for building repairs, Tim has put in the legwork on this, so this is all him. So one, thanks for Tim for doing the measurements and getting these cabinet doors. Now, the cabinet doors are the ones below the seating area on the backside, is what we're talking about. If you haven't noticed, they're starting to warp. So Tim has done, they've done fast work, Tim has done the legwork, and it looks like to replace all the doors, it is $564 plus tax and shipping. I'm not sure what the shipping would be, but anyway, I guess I'd like to take a vote and see if we can go ahead and get these and get those repaired.
So I think the reason that they're that price, this $564 is because they're not like standard door sizes. They're all kind of a little bit different from each other. So they're a custom built thing, right?
Yes.
So where would these be sourced? And what kind of doors are
HorizonCabinetDoors.com is where they would be.
they? Okay.
And I know when I talked to Tim, these doors are actually made for stuff like this, not just one piece of plywood and covering up a hole.
So
This is something that's going to.
commercial manufactured.
Right.
It's a manufactured situation.
So these are gonna last, should last us a long time and not have to
Are
worry.
they like flat, solid door, or are they?
I don't know, because I didn't see his research, but the name of it,
Horizon cabinet door,
is it down at the bottom, is there?
cabinets, raised panels.
It's a raised
Oh,
panel.
those are nice. Yeah, those are really.
Well, I move that we go ahead and purchase
I will
those.
second that.
Okay, so Holly has moved that we purchase these doors. Ken has seconded it. Sorry, I wasn't looking over here. Any questions, concerns? Okay, all those in favor of purchasing these doors?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstain?
With the chat.
John's
Okay, so,
I didn't know, in regards to that also, there is a section of the actual seating area that the doors are connected to or attached to that needs repair as well.
Yeah.
But I think that can be done in-house.
We could probably just jack it up, cut out that board, put a new one in.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of new board.
Okay.
so let's see. You wanna get with Tim and
Yep.
figure that out then?
I'll get with Tim and see what, we'll go and let everybody know when these have been ordered, et cetera.
You may have more on the list, so.
All right, well, we already talked about plexiglass barriers. Putting on hold
We
right
have
now.
that, yeah.
And then for, the grant for, and this is where Kathy and Ken, I know we brought it up, there's a grant for 2021 that sounds like we could possibly get a sizable grant for the facade out front and possibly the lobby area. I know I talked to JLG Engineering here in Minot, and they said that they would go ahead and come down and put in the legwork as long as we hired them, if we do get the money. So I guess I'm looking to see if we can move forward with that, or if, I need to look elsewhere.
So normally it
So-
costs money to even have them come out and draw the plan, et cetera.
You're usually.
They're
looking at a
willing
couple
to do it for free, as long as, if we decided to do it, we went with them.
And so they would hire, they would do the, from start to finish, they would.
What
take the
does the, I was gonna say,
contractors.
what does this entail over kind of umbrella? If we hire them, what will
They
they
would
do?
act as the general contractor.
They'll hire
And
the,
oversee the project, and they would attend to every detail of the project.
So they would line everybody up as far as what contractor they're using.
But we
for
still
this,
would
what
not
contractor-
lose, ownership of what it's going to,
Right,
what's gonna be
right.
done.
We would say, we want this and this done. And, I'm sure that's all done with the sketches and schematics and then, yes, we will have a very, a good part in that, So we're not just handing it over to them and saying, give us something pretty.
They'll give us some drawings and we'll look
Look at them, decide what we like best.
Did I see Nancy?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm questioning, are you putting all of this under one, or depending on dollars, can we separate lobby from facade?
I honestly think it should be the same project because.
I understand the idea of it being the same project. I'm just asking money-wise, if the dollar amounts, because there may be only so many dollars available, that we may have to separate it.
We may have to at some point, but what,
We won't
I
know
guess,
until we see the
my
dollar.
suggestion would be to get the drawings, get the plans, get the concepts, and get some ideas, and basically do what Summer Theater did. Here's the dream, put it out there, this is what we want to accomplish.
Canopy was also okay for the facade. That's it too.
And if we do decide to move forward with this and it's a dollar amount that we don't feel like we can get all the grant money for, this is also something we could headline with our out of the box kind of season thing, that we're raising funds for this and we really appreciate donations. So you can put that right up front there.
It's like Summer Theater got theirs, but it was a matching grant. So they got the 500,000 if they can match it.
Yes.
And that's likely to be the same kind of situation. This Main Street Department of Commerce grant probably would cover a good share of it. We won't know unless we try.
That's true.
And people respond to pretty pictures. So if we can have some pretty drawings and get people interested. Basically, the concept would be to take everything from the back wall of the theater, take out the office, take out everything out there, build new bathrooms on the north wall, put a ticketing area out there somewhere.
We were just thinking, so then patrons don't have to
And
come
then-
into the house before, no.
Get the bathrooms so they are accessible through the lobby. And it would also expand the lobby quite a bit to be able to have, we could have gatherings there.
I don't know.
I'd like to propose that we proceed with talking with JLG, to see if they're offering for free and there's no strings attached if we don't get the money. See what they can come up with that may or may not be what we want.
I have to agree. I mean, it's not costing us anything for them to come out, do an estimate, do a drawing, get it all set up for us to do the grant. Then with no strings attached, other than if we get the money, I think that it's good to go ahead to do. So I would like to motion that,
Or second it.
Second it, maybe.
or second it.
Okay, so Lynn has motion and Chris has second, that we go up, that Randy goes ahead and has JLG, do a drawing and work up of the front and the facade. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstain? Motion carries. All right, anything else on your list?
No, that
What
is,
about the doors? The doors.
oh, we're gonna take that to the finance committee first.
Okay.
Did you-
So,
He sent it to you guys.
Yeah,
I got it just before I came, so it was like.
so,
Ed wanted to, right, you wanted to go over the finance first, right?
and these numbers were for Kathy to try and get a grant to,
And that's
get
possible.
that money.
Yeah,
So-
because we're looking at the brick and mortar grant, so.
So maybe next month we'll talk about that here.
This month.
This month?
Yeah, remember?
No, I mean
Yeah.
like.
Finance committee.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so So you're done?
I'm done.
Social media,
No updates.
okay. Finance,
Okay. I gotta make sure I can. Yeah, pull up here.
What, taxes?
Yeah, I've got it here.
So just to clarify, there was nothing for social media, because I didn't quite hear that.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Nothing new.
Okay, all right.
So the finance committee met on the 10th. We discussed deposits and expenditures as usual. We actually combined July and August because we weren't able to meet in July. Just making sure everything is copacetic. We also discussed some of the bylaws and policies of the committee just to touch and make sure we're keeping up. And we discussed that now the committee currently has 5 members, and 2 of which the president and treasurer should always be members of the finance committee. I'm currently the chair as a board member. We looked at the number of people to be on the committee. Could be board and non-board members, minimum of 3 members, maximum 7. So there is room for 2 more members on the finance committee if anybody is interested. We discussed some of the COVID-19 prevention purchases, just to look at it from a financial point of view and give some recommendations, which I believe were taken shortly after to the COVID committee.
I think so.
We discussed fogging machines, things like that. We also discussed it for the next meeting. We want to once again go over operational budgets as a whole for the board. So hopefully we'll have an operational budget for a normal year, obviously. Hopefully we'll have that by the next board meeting. But due to Labor Day, our next finance committee meeting will not be on the first Monday. It will be on the 31st. So if anybody's interested in coming to the finance committee meeting, it'll be Monday, August 31st at 6:30.
And of course, regarding any committee that we have, per our bylaws, you don't have to be a member to attend the committee meeting, but your participation level may be restrictive if you are not a member of the committee.
That's all finance committee has.
box office,
Obviously, not much. I do have one thing, and this was part of the COVID thing as well. And it occurred to me that a lot of places will have you put your card in the reader. I thought, okay, that's something we could do, something we should do.
That was an email you sent out.
And I contacted Arts People and Neon Pay. Arts People is the ticketing site, and Neon Pay is the credit card processor. And the answer was no, it's not compatible with the software. And what you do is you take that barcode, that USB scanner, and you tape it down with directions and let people scan their own. Yes, but that's not exactly a grant function, but it's a good idea. And if anybody's been out to the city landfill anytime recently,
no,
When
they have
you-
large.
when you pay there, they have their barcode readers exactly like ours, and they're taped, they're fastened to the counter with directions on how to scan when you scan your own. You know,
They hand you a scanner at Caribou Coffee.
Yeah.
And it's on a clipboard.
McDonald's has their scanner on a stick. They stick out to them and you go, okay, how do I hit this thing? So, but we can just tape it down, we can just, not tape them down, but glue them down.
Maybe we could just go the next little amount. So it's something.
I mean, it'll just be fine. It's just, I was thinking of it in terms of a grant. Something to put on the grant.
Grant's idea.
No, it's not gonna fly there. The idea they had doesn't cost us anything extra.
Ken, do we need to, the only thing that we had that really wasn't the box office was our thing in the park. I mean, obviously, we didn't.
That's not box office, it's all business actually, so
Okay.
I think it's coming out.
Is it coming out?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's coming
Oh,
out.
all right, never mind.
Okay, okay, that's it.
Great, thank you. Past and upcoming shows.
I mean, should we use this opportunity to talk about what we're
Let's do
gonna
it,
do?
I guess.
I mean, we gotta get it done.
We got
We have to, if we're gonna do anything.
Okay, so, I guess we need to talk about if we're doing something, September, October. I think we discussed that September is kind of out now because it's getting a little late
Mhm.
to promote anything. But October, I mean, are you still
I would,
wanting or
I would
somebody
be,
else?
if we get to go ahead, I would like to get started on, I would like to get started on, because I know it doesn't look like anybody wants to go first. I'd be willing to open up our little out of the box season, with, a comedy show, a stand-up comedy, event, whatever you want to call it, at the end of October. I know currently, the people over at, the Good Talk, who do, Good Night Minot, or the Good Talk Show, or Good Night Show, whatever it is now. They are currently doing some stand-up work too. And shortly after I came up with this idea, and I talked to Jonah, and he'd be willing to, work a little, sort of looking for, merchants, because they're doing stand-up in bars, they're doing short little stand-ups, and he said it'd be nice if they could lead up into a big thing. Where they could promote this, we could have some of the people who do stand-up come here and possibly, win a prize or something. And it'd be nice to get some people in the theater.
So is it going to be like a one night?
Yeah, it would be a one-night thing. People would come in, we would, get people signed up as stand-up comedians in the hopes that one of them, whoever would be deemed the funniest by a panel of judges would win a cash prize.
I've been talking with Jay Jenkins with My Notables to possibly do a 1 or 2 evening performance of the My Notables in November. We haven't finalized much of anything other than that there is interest. And as long as there wasn't something else happening for November, that I would take the November slot.
I was wondering if we wanted to try and do some kids things in like pods, of maybe 10 kids or less. I don't know, I just came across this, kind of, it's kind of an evening thing, but it has like maybe 4 actors of some sorts, and then there's some sort of a different one, It doesn't have to be necessarily this one, but, for like a Christmas, maybe a December, I thought that maybe Paul and I would kind of let's with this a little bit. See what we can do with that.
We would like a December slot, and it would be a children's.
Well, at least, yeah.
Would it
It
be-
just seems like
Would it be
there's,
children or would it be family? Because if, family it's a
I know.
children's type show, but adults are doing it. Children is
I
children.
know. Well, I would like to look for some that mostly, did
And what do you
kids.
mean by pods? That was.
Well, the term now is that if you're doing a group, we call it a cast, a cast of smaller, kind of like we did.
So like Brittany and CJ did a few years back, where there were 4 different
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like
So
that,
it would be an evening of children's theater.
right, and pretty much we maybe could do a couple nights. I don't think that it's worth a 2-weekend kind of thing, but, even if it's,
Would it be more than one show in that night? Is that what?
well, there are a variety of shows, it's like a variety, it's kind of like Carol Burnett and,
The thing that they did were 4 different children themed kind of fairy tale
Yeah.
type shows, all lumped in a single performance. And they had different casts for each
For
one.
each one, yeah. And this one, you know, for example, Deck the Halls with Poison Ivy, you know. And then there's the Tree Monologues Part 1, you know, that kind of thing. And then there's Still a Stone, and then it goes on and there's Tree Monologues again. And so it kind of comes and goes. I guess I would like to use, you know, kids mostly. You know, Paula had mentioned when we talked about it today, well, you know, maybe we could have a group of, you know, 5 to 10, because isn't 10 about what they're, you know,
They go to
whatever.
school, so who knows?
Yeah, well, exactly, but I mean, if you worked with this group, it's kind of like Orphan Train. You know, they're all little vignettes, you know, so we could do something maybe like that.
So
So,
we have 3, does anybody,
And-
did anybody else want?
You made some progress.
Oh, yeah, I can talk about it. I mean, it's not necessarily something we're going to do, but I did get a hold of a movie licensing thing. We talked, you know, briefly about that, maybe just a movie night or a matinee and a night movie. So I talked to Swank Enterprises or something like that, or Advertise, I don't know. It's the same company that the library uses for their licensing. They get theirs for free because they're library. But so per film per day, so one movie per day, you could have like 2 shows that day. You could have a matinee and a night show of the same movie. It's anywhere between $225 and $285. Versus 50% of your admission fee. So for example, in October, she said, this is a popular thing in October, she said that people rent Hocus Pocus, it's $285. Or if we sold 100 tickets for $7, that's $700. So half of it's $350. So then after the show's over, we would owe them another $65. It would be $285, but then after whatever we sell tickets, if we sold tickets,
So it's a minimum of the 225, 280,
it's whichever's greater.
whichever's greater.
Whichever is
So it
greater.
isn't a versus,
there.
it's whichever's greater.
Right. So, she said that they have like images, once you pay for the licensing fee, they have digital images, you can post them on Facebook and websites, et cetera, and print them, whatever, that we can use for, you know, advertising. She only needs like a day or 2 to get there's like an exhibition form that she has to process before we're ready to like advertise. So if we say, oh yeah, let's do it now, she only needs a day or 2 before.
So we could
start
conceivably do it at the end of September.
We could, you know, it could be something we could say, hey, today, and
Do they have a list of them?
she does. She sent me, which I couldn't email anybody who would like to see it. It's a link. I haven't looked at the link yet. She said if you do like show all, you can make your own list of movies. I didn't really understand what she meant, but she said they're all on there. You just have to scroll through them and look at, you know, maybe have one in mind that you have in mind, then you could type it in or something, or if you want to just send some ideas to me, you know, I could look them up.
What's the mechanics of showing it? Is
Um,
DVD or?
Right, lots of different options. DVD is an option,
Or
so.
streaming?
I don't know if I want to stream,
No.
because if we ever run into any
No.
internet issues, we would have a frozen film waiting to
DVD would
buffer.
probably be safer. Blu-ray, I think is an option, and, I don't know, like Blu-ray, I don't know if that's.
Blu-ray,
But, anyway, so that's an option of something, you know, Randy's like, well, could we just say we're not charging and just say, you know, free will donation and, you know, it'd be the $225 or $285 and then possibly get even more than what, I don't know. So I didn't ask her, we weren't really sure if that was a question I should ask her or not, like
it
about
would
free.
be easier if they threw in, you know, free will donation for sure. Then we wouldn't have to stand out there and sell the tickets, but it's,
And sometimes people give more than, you know, if they were paying for it, but then some might just walk in for free too, so. I'm not sure which would be a better option. So anyways, you could do, for the same price though, again, you know, 2 movies in that same day, so 2 opportunities to
Two
raise
different
some
movies or do
Same-
at the same time? But
Same
just
movie,
showing.
showings, yeah. So that was also something we found out, so if we wanna talk about doing that, I mean, September is, if we did it at the end of September, I think we'd have plenty
I
of
think
time
we,
to do it.
before we talked about doing it all towards the end of the months,
The end of the month, so is that something we should?
except in December,
except in December because of holidays.
yeah.
And because I remember we originally discussed perhaps not doing anything in December just with the holidays, but if we have something holiday themed, we can
Right,
do
we could do it more in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, maybe in the,
Do some of the holiday classics.
it. Mhm. Yeah, if we're doing the holiday movie.
well, then, right, we could do that and put that at the in-between, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Heather,
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
just a little comment, when you're talking about the free will offer, I can talk from experience that when Minot State does when we do our main stage, we do free will offering and we make about 3 times as much as we do for selling tickets. Because even those ones that do walk right in, the people are giving us a 50 for a donation, make up more than that person that just walks in. I'm just saying, I'm talking from
Sure.
experience.
Okay,
And that's something, if, you know, we could try it for the first, whatever movie we do, and if it doesn't pan out, we could charge.
yeah,
That's
it's not like
true.
we're losing a ton of money, it's 280, you know, what I mean, like, it's money, but it's not like.
I mean, but the other thing is, I don't think we should get caught up on the money, it's $285 that we're doing for the community to try and. get
And we had
people
already
in here.
agreed to budget $500
Dollars.
per
Sure.
month
Show.
for per
Yeah.
event.
Yep.
So that we would have a buffer to start with.
right.
Well, we can do September, you wanna do a movie in September?
Sure.
We can
Yeah.
handle that. If anybody has any suggestions, though, we'd love to hear, so if you have a suggestion of a movie, so Randy and I don't just pick a.
Well, you know, end of September, you could start leading up to Halloween.
We focus.
You could. I mean, that
That would
would
even be like the first, you know, October first, I don't know, date, you know, but yours is like right. at the
Let's
end.
not talk about
Sorry.
yeah, it
details.
doesn't matter.
So we have
I
4,
have-
should we
I
go
have
with that?
Question.
Sure.
I found myself thinking the other day that so far we didn't have anything lined up. And the few things that we might possibly have lined up are things that for the most part, you just do in front of whatever is on the stage, which means that my spirit is still sitting here.
Well, it's
And-
lovely.
I've been talking to a couple of other theater groups in the area, down in Bismarck and stuff like that. And a number of them are actually going ahead with a season. And I spoke with the Civil Center lady the other day. She says hi, by the way.
Oh, very good.
And she was surprised that we weren't going on with the season because even they are doing about half of their stuff face-to-face and getting a very good turnout so far. So my mind went, we already have the Blythe set. We've already got all the props bought. The blocking is done. Most of the costumes in place. The actual cost of putting it together would be pretty darn low. If the rights and royalties were available and we didn't destroy the set between now and then, if we've got actors that were willing to either come back in their roles or new actors willing to take on the roles, could we remount like Spirit, say, in February?
Why not?
We'll see what
I know there were a lot of people that wanted to see it, that didn't get a chance to.
Sure, but I mean, you know, that's a good, really good idea.
Director point of view, And as long as the rights and royalties were available, we could actually just put on a real show and it wouldn't be a lot of work because most of it's done.
I'm sure it could get them there.
The
So we're
royalties and
talking
stuff,
about
not gonna go up because of the movie coming out?
That might be the one wrinkle. Although I'm sure the movie production got pretty much shut down.
Because it was supposed to come out this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
doubt
it
it,
was
I doubt
supposed
it's
to
gonna
come in
happen
spring.
anytime soon.
Is anybody that's not, so we're talking about February.
Tim requested the first part of February so that we weren't rushing right after
Sure.
the holidays. So we could even do a January film or, something that would not interrupt everything, and still be able to do it.
Sure.
Is there anybody that would wanna do a film in January?
So I actually found a play. It's written by Don Zelitis, who, cranks out 57,000 plays a year. It's called 10 Ways to Survive Life in Quarantine. It's, yeah, it's actually meant to be done from home. It's all virtual stuff, you just film it. He wrote it to be performed over Zoom, but I was thinking if we did something like that, if we get a cast for it, they could film it themselves. That way they don't screw up their lines. It would technically be a perfect performance every time. There's a host and a co-host, so we really only need 2 people on the stage. If we wanted to do that, and it wouldn't interrupt the Blind Spirit set, we could pull down the projector.
So the actual performance would be put on the projector?
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
So it'd almost be like a movie. It's almost like what,
A
I
movie
think it was
movies.
like Jimmy Fallon did it like that, to where he'd shoot to every different home and then they'd have their little, 30-second tidbit and then the next one, and then, I thought that was pretty good when we watched it, but.
I read the script, it's hilarious, they've got one thing, like, one of the ways to survive in quarantine is putting on a musical with your pets. And then it's got somebody who's got like a cat or a dog picking up the cat and like singing something from Beauty and the Beast.
Signy?
And, yes,
Signy, since you've already done some footwork on that, would you like to investigate doing that for January?
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
There we go.
Cool.
Virtual play.
So then, if we're going to do Blind Spirit, in February, would we be able to do at least one more face-to-face then? Whether we wanted to look at Clue
It could be something that
or
we
something
could,
else?
we could look towards that.
Maybe not Clue, because that's a
We
news.
can talk more in a few
Yeah.
months about another one after.
We do have the script for first night.
That's only 2.
Now,
It's only 2 people.
it's 2 people,
It's really funny.
and it, ideally,
How
a
long-
couple.
How long is
Something like-
Is it full?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
ideally,
something
it's
like that
couple.
would be,
Because, yeah, it works better if it's a couple.
Yeah, when you're making that.
So right now, we've got the beginning, we've got the start of our
Okay.
host season, potentially up through February.
I think we should stop there and right now, just make sure everything's going smoothly still.
So then, can we now
I want
start
a
to
motion
promote
to
it?
move. I want a
We gotta
motion
vote
to
on
move
this.
ahead with our go season.
okay.
Okay,
I'll
so
second it.
Ed
Or-
has, motioned that, let's just review quickly. September, a movie, October, a comedy show, November, potentially the My Notables, December, evening of children's shows, January, 10 Ways virtual play, February, Life Spirit. That's what you're motioning,
Yes.
okay? Is there a second? Lynn is seconding that, seconding. Any other discussion?
One thing I would like to make note, if we, maybe we only announce 3 at a time on what we're doing,
Sure.
in case we have to make changes. So that we're not coming back and making some sort of,
Right.
you know,
Say, oops, sorry.
yeah, oh, no, I'm sorry, we're not gonna be able to do this, this didn't pan out, we're gonna have to think of something else.
I think in that same vein, Ed, like, I think doing, like, what's playing now and what's upcoming, and just limiting to that, and working forward like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Am I not making sense?
It makes sense. Yeah, 3 years on.
Okay, Brittany, are you hearing on this? Okay.
Okay, so, all those, any more discussion before? Any other question? No. All those in favor?
I,
Okay, all those opposed? Any abstain? Okay, motion passed, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but only promoting a couple to a few at a time.
The 2 or 3.
All right, perfect, sounds great, good job, guys. House committee, Lynn and Nancy, I put summer cleanup list.
We need these.
I'll start, and I'm sure Lynn can add because she's done a tremendous amount. If you haven't seen that backstage bathroom, you've got to see it for real. It's absolutely adorable. I stopped in this morning and saw it, so many thanks to the creative family that took care of that. The picture rail is also a wonderful addition. Some of those things, we've talked about, and now they're finally getting done. Thank you very, very much for that. Lynn's also working downstairs. She'll probably tell you a little bit more about that. Rehearsal room, prop room, back and forth there. I did clean the green room, so that is done. The items that I found in there, I put on the front table. If they're not gone, I'll pick them up sometime this week and do something with them. I sent an email to a couple people this morning because I did walk downstairs and the sewer smell was overpowering at the bottom of the stairs this morning. I've smelled it before, but this was the worst it has ever been. So I did dump many pails of water down the stool in the old costume shop bathroom stool, many, and I also dumped in the other bathrooms, but the main offense is coming from that old costume shop stool. So if someone would check that again tonight, it was still smelly when I left, so I'm not sure, but anyway, that's what I did with that. And then I wondered about, Lynn?
I had a question on that I'm gonna put to the guys that know a little bit more than me. Is there any way of closing that off?
That's actually, I saw it was in the proposal that Randy's gonna bring to the finance committee.
No, that was for the 2 bathrooms that are down in the middle
Oh, I
of the
thought that was for
hall.
the ones.
Where is
No, no,
This
the one you
is,
emailed.
if you go down through the concession stand to that room,
Yeah,
there's a
that's what
little
you're talking about.
bathroom off of there.
Oh, I did not read.
Oh, yeah, that's been there. And that's the one that's
You
giving
should
us,
plug.
and there's
Oh,
just
yeah.
no reason to even have that in
We
there.
can-
Down below the
Yeah,
stairs.
yeah, there's one there.
I didn't know there was stuff in there.
Yeah, I didn't know it was there either.
Was it
Yeah.
good?
Years.
Is it on by the water?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yes, where the main water shut off is.
Yeah.
If you followed your nose today, you would have found it for you.
yeah, because if we can tap
It's
that
by
off,
that
we
way.
don't have, that's
Yeah.
one
You
less.
have your
thing.
mask on.
Have a cat like trip over
Yeah.
this
Yeah, you needed the mask, but somebody please check it because about halfway down the stairs was when I started smelling it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
so
if you've already got
please
it,
check
you've
that
already
again.
got a toilet cap.
Then one other thing, I'm just gonna ask a
Absolutely
question
send it,
then. Talking about the facade and the front. Some time ago, I had said that I would ask NICE about printing more of those stickers that are out in front. I found out that we'd gotten those from NICE, it says Mouse Players, and we stuck them on various glass things. Should I even, and I totally forgot about it. Do you want me to even pursue that or just leave that or, just give me some direction if you want me to do anything?
I think we should leave it for now because we're currently working on someone possibly doing the front, so I mean, I hate to put them
I would
on.
object to that because getting those printed and glued on there is a very minimal cost.
Well, that's.
And right now, it looks terrible. They are brown, they're getting brown, they're peeling, all kinds of stuff.
2 years before.
And
we do
could it be
it.
2 years before we do anything on the side?
Maybe, yeah, probably.
So I would say at least investigate what the cost is to get some new ones printed so we can see about gluing them on. The glass is still there. It's just gonna be a matter of putting them on.
Re-sticking.
Yeah, covering some and maybe some, adding some. All right, I'll pursue a cost and see if it is indeed minimal. That's all I have, but Lynn has done a lot more, so.
Summer cleanup projects. A lot has been done. There's, in fact, about half, maybe a little more than half of the easy ones have been done. But there's still a lot more that can be done. There have been very few board members that have participated.
We didn't know we had a list.
It was announced in June. It's posted on the office.
Oh, really?
It's been, and I also mailed it to everybody. So, it has been a joy to get it accomplished and to see how things look nice in here. It has been a little bit, anxiety causing to feel that there are only a few people who seem to have the interest in maintaining the building and making it look good for our patrons. So once again, I would ask people to check out, I can send out another list of what's left to be done. See if
I think that would be a great idea.
Yes, please.
yeah, see what you can do. And
Yeah, that would
Yes.
be great.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
If you're a board member and you don't have a key, I can meet you down here any day of the week, honestly, and get you a key, or let you in the building if you really don't want a key, but.
If you're a board member, you should have a key to the front door.
I will contact you, Heather, because I know I need one.
Okay.
And by the way, thank you, Lynn, for doing the chairs.
Well, that particular day was just, Tim was here working on the bathroom and I had finished the project that I was doing, so it was like, well, that's quick and ready to go, I might as well do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, time.
Yeah, Lynn and Tim have done a majority of this list, and so it would be great to see some other names.
And then regarding what Nancy was saying about downstairs, if you do go down to the rehearsal room, you're gonna be a little surprised at how it has been converted. We were given, donated beautiful shelves by Brianna Benson, which Tim and Ed installed into the rehearsal room, and Nancy and I have been moving the small props that can be tubbed and moved and grouped easily and labeled, nice big label, into that room. It has now made it a little restrictive of where the furniture is gonna go, but we'll figure that out. But we are moving the stuff from the old prop room, a lot of it into the rehearsal room, because it's neat, you can see it, stuff like that, which will then give us the opportunity to reconfigure the old small prop room and get that all lined up with new shelves and things like that, so that we don't have things buried. There's an amazing amount of stuff down there that I don't think people even know it exists because it's been buried. So it's proceeding, it's a long road, and along the way, I'm taking pictures of large prop items and furniture and things like that. And I'm creating a book that will be in the office so that when somebody who's working on a show and goes, well, I need a table, they can look and see what we have downstairs. I've got that about a third of the way done.
Good idea.
Thank you for doing that.
That's just personal.
I did meet Angie this week, from the language and wardrobe, that stuff. So the stuff that's on the table down there, from Angie Thompson.
On what table?
Well, there's in the, costume room down there,
Uh-huh.
there's a table there that
Yeah.
she said that you'd said just
A lot of
place.
that's been shifted and moved,
Okay.
not all of it. but
Okay,
a lot of
well,
it.
that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Is Angie Thompson.
Oh, there's an assortment of stuff that
Okay, well,
still to be put away, but we're getting there.
yeah, well, I kind of knew where some of it maybe should go, but then I thought, well, you know.
They don't know, but I'll be down with
Is that everything or?
very.
They're doing,
So.
I'm gonna try and get Nancy
Okay.
and me and maybe whoever else might be interested to come in sometime between now and September and do a walkthrough of the entire building like we used to do. I mean, I've got all the printout from back then and figure out what things need repair, could use tidying up. Just so we have
We have
this.
that carpet back there. Right outside of the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, if you're done.
Remove and replace hall carpet from May of 2015.
Okay, so concessions. Well, just let us know when you need
Yeah.
people to walk through. Concessions, really
I'm
nothing.
currently working on trying to get rid of the cookies.
cookies. The last box of cookies for Boys Spirit. They were looking like they were needed.
There's peanut butter, there's peanut butter,
Sorry.
there's sugar, there's
Chocolate.
Sugar.
Kids program?
You know, really nothing, but now that maybe we've got kind of a focus, I'll look for stuff. You know, I don't know that until after Christmas would be a good time to do any classes or anything. I was thinking that this next time, you know, probably just acting workshops as good as anything, but we won't worry about it yet.
Sounds good. Newsletter?
Well, it went out,
Yeah.
so,
Okay, perfect. Fundraising. Sandy, I didn't know if you're new. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm back. I actually had an idea for a fundraiser, since we weren't really 100% sure if we were doing anything for the season. Since we're not doing, Magicon, maybe do like a cosplay 5K.
or what?
A cosplay.
It's like a 5, you know what a 5K is, right?
Dress up.
But everybody dresses up like
Oh,
cartoon or video game characters or whatever.
Because Halloween's on a Saturday this year.
Mhm.
And I don't know if kids are gonna be trick or treating that night, if that's gonna be a thing. Maybe they can still get dressed up and go for a run in the morning.
I'm not sure I'd go with 5K, but.
yeah.
With kids, maybe we should do like a
Pretty
3K.
typical, it's pretty standard
Yeah,
distance.
kids could do
walk
like
run.
a 1K.
Maybe you could do like, both, like, back
The
where I
dog
came from,
walker?
you could choose, you know, you had your marker at 1 mile, you had your marker at 5K, you know, you could kind of choose what you did, whatever. So, yeah, that's a great idea, so do you want, you,
Or maybe pick a park,
Or what?
Nancy?
just about.
Yeah, excuse me, I have to leave, I'm sorry. Lynn, will you take my proxy, please, and bye, everybody, carry on.
Thanks, Nancy.
Bye.
I have another option of a fundraiser technique. I was speaking with Lucille Solberg from the Civil Center on the weekend when I was dealing with the MACA parks. And one of the things that they recently did as a fundraiser was an online silent auction. And she said it was very successful. Basically, board members, volunteers, patrons, whoever they could contact, donated items, whether they were crafted items or anything, and they put it up on a silent auction, kind of like MSU does with, you know, when it's just a video thing, and that they actually got quite a significant amount for it. And the people who were participating in watching it, they said they really, really enjoyed it. She would be a contact for any further idea of how to go about it, if people have questions.
What's her name?
Lucille Solberg. But that was something that she had offered as something they had done.
Well, didn't they just do that for the symphony, you know, not more than a week or two ago? Was the symphony?
Yes,
you know,
they did.
The tomato fest.
Both are great ideas. Signy, if you want to form a committee to get some things done, so you're not doing things on your own, like just email out and people, please help her out with this, okay?
So with this, I guess now that we're gonna do these different movies and are we wanting to do, I know like New Mexico, we did that, and we did the Taco John's in conjunction with the shows. Do we wanna try and do that for this season?
I know that we can get Ricardo of New Mexico to sponsor Blythe. He is raring to sponsor a show, and he talks to us every time we go. So I know I can get New Mexico to be in for Blythe.
I mean, people still go to restaurants and people still, you know what I mean, so.
And they still have fundraisers at,
Right.
Pizza Ranch
Yeah.
and.
We're not doing
Don't
Pizza
really
Ranch
wanna do
ever
Pizza
again.
Ranch, I don't think I'll volunteer for that.
No, but I'm just saying that they
That was
are constantly saying that they do it, so.
I know,
So-
but.
I mean, we could, Simon, do you wanna look into some of the, I mean, I think our best one when I was doing it was Starving Rooster.
Yeah.
I think I got the most there. But we also did great at even Taco John's, and so,
And they're not hard.
And that's just a matter of contacting and setting it up.
right, it's just a matter of picking a date, and like I was picked the like Tuesday or that week after,
A
our show.
Just knocked my bag, but it's fine, it's fine. But since we don't have shows, it's kind
But
of.
I
Well,
mean,
we kind of do, we will though.
kind of shows, we can promote any fundraisers that you got going, so. Yes, is anybody willing to, be on Simon's committee? Katie?
Sign me up for it, it's Halloween.
I've been knowing that.
We're doing having a Halloween party this year, right?
Correct,
Yeah, I can.
which is very standard.
Okay, so, and then,
Did someone just play a, I was
Yes.
someone just play sound?
go ahead and
Yes.
send out an email and I'm sure we are all willing to do something, so.
Did we want to set dates on these or just?
I
think
would
we
not.
need to wait.
Yeah.
It's already 10 minutes of.
I think it's something we can do.
Season committee,
Well, we talked about
yeah, we're
that.
probably good. Tenant building.
No movement on the tenant building. I know that currently we were looking at someone possibly purchasing it. Let's see.
Haven't gotten to
So-
talk to Margie.
Sponsorship committee, would somebody who's not a chair of something else be willing to step up to the plate?
I thought that was your sponsorship for people that wanted to buy their own chair.
Yeah. We should have.
I know, I did.
We already did that, that's what this was all
I
about.
know, and I'm going, oh, we're changing chairs again. Yeah.
Anybody willing to do that? I can send out an email.
Bylaws is still in stasis.
Okay. 50th gala is postponed currently, right? Or
Yeah, it is postponed. I'm just looking at possibly in a year's time with the 2021. I think that'd be right, we're in 2020, so
Yeah.
maybe using the Thursday of the end of December, being that the, our New Year's kind of thing is over the weekend, so.
I would like the committee to also investigate other options of time of year, since now we don't no longer have that connection that you were talking initially of when we started in 71.
Well, it will
type of
still be
thing.
71, because it'll be 21.
Right, but I'm just thinking I would like to investigate other options, because I'm still not comfortable with holding it around New Year's. And just personally, I'm not comfortable, so I would like to investigate other options.
Well, I know we talked about beginning of the year, but that's such, it's so busy in there that to get that, so we might be better off in October possibly. But,
Yeah,
Well,
just-
maybe
as I say,
when it
just
gets
investigating.
close.
yeah, I mean, it isn't
So-
anything, but that's a possibility.
New business.
I have to say that when the city threw their big Halloween thing, that was a big hit. A lot of people
It
went,
was.
and they just haven't had it. So maybe that's something we could look at.
We could. Halloween? Okay.
Something Halloween-like.
Halloween.
I'm all about Halloween.
What's your favorite holiday?
Okay, so Lynn, new business?
Just a quick thing, currently the finance committee is considered an ad hoc committee. I would like to propose that it gets put in the bylaws as a permanent committee. Since we do seem to meet regularly and review information that can then be passed on to the board.
A motion to make it permanent?
Great.
I second.
Penny seconds. All those in favor of making the finance committee a permanent committee?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion, all those abstaining? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that. Ghost season postcards.
Okay, ghost season postcards, which are teaser postcards to say, hi, we're still here, we're getting plans in the works. We have them printed. We printed 600 pieces, but now apparently we need another 60 to 100 pieces, so I can get those put together. We have 660 potential names. Now we just need to get a small group of people, 2, 3 people together on a day to stick and
Lick and stick.
lick and stick with stamps and things like that. And it
Yep.
basically isn't even lick and stick because all the stamps and everything are pre-licked, pre-stuck. So I'm going to talk with Heather about a time that would be convenient, and I will get out the word.
More people affected.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I can help that.
And we'll just get out the word of when we're gonna do it, and if anybody can be there to help, that would be fantastic.
Old business, Imagicon.
And MagicCon has been canceled for participation and our deposit has been moved to 2021.
Thank you. Did y'all hear that? Imagicon has been canceled for this year, but they moved for us. But they moved our deposit to the 2021 season. So thank you for taking care of that.
You're welcome.
Oak Park performance update.
It appears to have been very well received. We got a contribution of $200 from MACA for our performance. I think everybody had a good time. It's hard to say. There are things that if we had decided to tweak it again, could be made better, a little bit easier on people. And because it is in its own way a very easy thing to slot different things in, it's like, going to a shelf and going, I'll take this and this and this. And we could opt that for, say, March. And bring it back on our own stage. And there's another thing already made. Well, it would probably need to be tweaked a little because we had references to MACA and stuff like that.
Right.
But it wouldn't take a lot of work to tweak it. Oh, yeah, what, the tie-in script?
Yeah, the
The detective.
The Detective
Yeah.
Sam Shovel, oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that
that's
was
original,
original.
that was Courtney. Totally Courtney. And between the talents that, I know exist in MRP, we could probably come up with a cowboy episode of something, or a soap
Because you
opera.
kind of left it as a cliffhanger, you could continue that.
Yeah, so lots of possibilities.
Junior board members, I didn't receive the application.
Yep, I sent out the application today, so if there's any tweaks or changes, please let me know. I would like to get a vote on that on the next board meeting. I sent it to
We
everybody.
make
I sent it as a
Agreement?
reply to the meeting agenda.
Did you hear Sunny? She
What?
said school is grade. School.
maybe add the school that they go to and what grade they're in to it too?
Does it
Don't think
matter?
that's right.
I guess I would,
Not
yeah,
for,
I would
not
wonder
for
the
a board
relevancy.
member.
We
Would it be possible to have that resent, because I have not seen it in my inbox,
Yeah,
so.
I'll
we just
resend it.
sent it at about like 6 o'clock, so you.
Yeah, I sent that out about 6.
Oh, okay, I wasn't even home at that point, so.
So if you haven't checked since before the meeting, there's a
Yeah.
chance it's sitting in your inbox.
So I guess a requirement was more of age, not grade.
Yeah, because we
So-
wanted someone, I think we discussed 13,
Yeah.
so teenagers, so 13 to 17.
Okay. ASCAP,
Yes, I made progress with canceling the ASCAP. I talked to a guy named Levi, I got a hold of him, he's pretty easy to get a hold of. I don't know what happened, who you talked to, John, but it sounds like he was giving you the runaround. I don't know, if you have his name, let me know, because I plan on contacting him and trying to speak to a higher up and give Levi a good review. But he gave me an email, he said I just have to email them with our intent to cancel, what our account number is and the reason why we're canceling. So I plan on doing that this week, since I'm off this week.
anybody else have anything?
The other, we will be acquiring an ASCAP license through AACT that is specifically meant for community theaters. It covers pre-show music, intermission music, incidental music and shows, recorded music, but not performances.
Is this something you need to address this morning?
No, that's just
Just
for,
needs to be
for here. I just gave my money here.
Anybody else have any business they want to discuss? Oh, so our next meeting is Monday, September 14th at 6:30. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for staying with us.
I'm done.
Alright, just a reminder, this has been recorded, and I will be sending out the link.
Okay. Bye.